Adri here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Om Adhyaya Namaha. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps to support this channel. Okay, so this very short video is just about karma and sanskaras, which are the seeds of karma and how that is played out into our lives. Now, it is important to understand that this as you study astrology, because the study of astrology is the study of karma. To truly understand how karma plays out, you must study astrology. I always see a lot of people talk about karma when they don't know astrology and they get it wrong. And so if you study it, then you'll really understand, especially, I would say, if you study the padas, the story of the nakshatras and the story of the padas within the nakshatras, that will absolutely help you understand karma in a different way. Because, for an example, sometimes your health issues can be a result of your past life actions, which have nothing to do with health. Say, for example, you can take out a loan from somebody, and then in the next life, you could end up being sick because of such action in the past life. And then there are some very simple remedies that you can do, and all of a sudden you're well. It's not point blank. And now, karma is, as many know, the cause and effect of our actions that come into play from the last life, the previous lives, and this life. Because we only live a very short period of time in Kali Yuga, which is roughly, I don't know what it is roughly now, but it seems like people are dying very, very early. And 100 years seems like a long time for people to live. In past times, in other yugas, people would live up to 1,000 years, more than that. So in one lifetime, you would see your karma come back to you, and that would make you change what you do and really think about what you do. Now, because we only live a short amount of time, we don't see the majority of our karma coming back to us. That's why a lot of people always ask me, how come the people who do bad things, they don't see bad karma? They do, but you may not see it in this lifetime. But your karma will determine where you're born, who you're born to, and what you do in the next lifetime until you change that. Now, the sanskara is the seeds of karma which are planted within the mind, ready to come out as the karma, ready to be born as the karma, as an event that occurs to you. Now, how does the sanskara work? Well, it creates a craving for something. It's a feeling for something that all of a sudden makes you go towards that. So this is why we have to monitor our feelings. You have to understand your emotions and your thoughts are not you. So your emotions and your thoughts can be a result of your karma, of your past karma, which is leading you to play out this karma. This is a reason for spiritual practice, why we must do spiritual practice, because when we do spiritual practice, we eliminate these sanskaras. And then now we're acting in a conscious manner rather than unconscious. So for example, if you're always attracted to the bad boy who always breaks your heart, hurts you, is violent, and things like that, and you wonder, why? Why do I get this attraction towards these negative, toxic people? This is your sanskaras. So this is why you can't trust your feelings towards things, because your feelings can lead you astray. The soul does not have the feelings and emotions. The soul is always in peace and bliss, but more than that, it's something that can't be described, something that you can feel when you're in meditation. So the feelings, the emotions, the thoughts come from the mind. The mind is an instrument. So the thoughts are nothing but suggestions. They are not the truth. The thoughts and the emotions are akin to clouds in the sky that come and go. They are fleeting. They are not us. You could love someone 1 minute and then hate them the next. Is that real? No, it is not real. It is a fleeting emotion. That's why we don't make decisions based on temporary emotions. So this is how the sanskaras can lead you down the wrong path. You could all of a sudden be attracted to very dark scenarios, and that could be a result of these sanskaras or this trauma that you have, or the seeds of karma that have been planted there from past lives. Also, these sanskaras make you react. So this is why spiritual practice stops us from reacting, because all reactions are unconscious and are a result of karma. So when we don't react, then we don't create a negative event. Now, when you react out of anger, out of malice, out of a negative emotion, it creates a birth chart that instant. There's a chart for that. When you're reacting negatively, it's going to create a negative birth chart, which will create a negative outcome. So that's why if we pause and wait till we have more of a sense of grounding and of positivity and then act, it will create a positive birth chart and create a positive result. 99.9% of people are just reacting based on their own trauma, their own sanskaras, and then it negatively affects their future. You were angry. Were you really angry at that person? Or was it a result of your own trauma? And then that's why you lashed out at them and broke an object of theirs, and then now you're in jail. It's the sanskara. And people always say, how you know it's the sanskara is because you say, I don't know why I did that. How would you not know? You were the one who did it. Well, it's because it was the ego that did it, and you were unconscious when you did that. And then the more we react, then it creates more and more events out of reaction, and then we react, and then we're completely unconscious. There are different types of karma. There is Sanchit karma, and this is the entire storage of karma from all lifetimes. And in astrology, we have different charts for different karmas that we can see. Then there is prarabdha karma, which is the current set of active karma, which is affecting one's present life. It is also part of the first karma that I mentioned, the karma of lifetimes. Then there's Kriyaman karma, is the future set of karma, which is created in the present moment as one goes through life. And it will become a part of the first karma I mentioned, the karma of all lifetimes. The types of sanskaras is like a line drawn in water. It disappears as it is created, leaving no consequence. The second is akin to a line drawn in the sand. It disappears with some time and leaves some effect, but not deep enough for long-term issues. The third is like a line drawn in a rock. It's deep in the mind, and it's so deep that it can make you create a new birth because you have to work this out. And this will be a main issue in your life that you're facing and that you haven't worked out, so it creates another birth. So when you understand these, what is the next step? The step is spiritual practice. Once you do spiritual practice, you become aware of these sanskaras before they create that karma, before you create that karma. Because it's not like the karma is happening to you. You are creating it. You are reacting to it. You are acting unconscious. This will make you aware of this. And the more you do the spiritual practice, you'll get all these aha moments and realize how you've been acting unconscious your entire life. And you will correct it because it won't make any sense to you. You'll realize that this was the ego. So the more you elevate your consciousness, these things have to disappear because you're no longer that type of person. And when they disappear, then even the sanskaras that are ready from past life, that are ready to be birthed in this life, disappear. You dissolve your past karma in this way. And this spiritual practice is meditation, yoga, mantra, tantra, all of this. So it depends what you gravitate towards. Everybody has something that they like a lot more than the other, that they're better at than the other. Not everybody's meant to do mantras. Not everybody can meditate, things like that. But I do believe everyone can if they practice it, but certain people gravitate towards certain things. So this is how you can eliminate your karma and start dissolving it. And remember, when you start your spiritual practice, look at yourself as a new person. Like in Tantra practice, we say, okay, well now forget your past. Your past is over. The more you concentrate on these things and you start feeling guilty about it or talking negatively to yourself, like, why did I do this? And this creates more karma for yourself. So you have to forgive yourself. And spiritual practice will help do that. It'll help you release all of this and forgive yourself and then just move on. with your life. So you'll no longer be creating the same mistakes over and over again. When a similar transit happens, say Jupiter every 12 years, 12, 13 years ends up in the same sign. Your Jupiter maybe isn't that positive, and something always happens every 12 years or 13 years. You do the same thing and you're like, why do I always do that? Or why do I always end up in relationships like this? Why do I always make the same mistake? That's your Sanskaras. But then this time when that transit happens, you don't have to recreate that. Nothing can happen. You could just be at peace. And you can notice this in your chart if you pay attention to the transits, especially the malefic planets. You'll notice that even when Saturn goes over your Mars, nothing negative happens because you're not reacting anymore. Even when there's very, very harsh transits, harsh transits on your ascendant, nothing happens. You're at peace because you're not a victim to the outside world. Now you're creating your own reality. So that's just a little bit about that. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.